This is not your average building site. Over the course of 5 months, about 600 tons of steel have been turned into the largest horse sculpture in the world and the tallest artwork in Britain. Sculptor Andy Scott's The Kelpies is 30 meters high.
To go from drawing these little things as tiny sketches nearly 8 years ago to seeing them transformed after all that time and all that effort and blood, sweat and tears into what you now see is just an amazing experience. It's one that not many artists have, and I'm really, really delighted with the outcome.
A Kelpie is a supernatural water horse that has its origins in Celtic folklore. But the folklore figure was not the inspiration for Scott's sculpture. The two horse heads are part of a landscape transformation project called the Helix. When it's finished, the former industrial region near the Scottish town of Falkirk will get a new lease on life. An old ship's canal that once used to transport goods and passengers traverses the project.
We're on the Forth and Clyde Canal here, and originally the main form of locomotion for the boats on the canals, the canal barges, would have been pulled by horses, kind of similar to these big guys over my shoulder. In those days, the heavy horses, the Clydesdales and Shire horses, would have been the main form of locomotion. And these horses would have been, you know, in all the industry and agriculture in the area. They were an everyday part of industrial life, and I felt that it was really important to somehow pay a homage to them.
Andy Scott's studio is in the west of Glasgow. He's created over 70 sculptures that stand in public spaces. A recurring theme is the horse. Andy Scott's artistic breakthrough came with the heavy horse. The 5-meter-high piece stands beside the motorway linking Glasgow and Edinburgh. It's been seen by an estimated 450 million people.
The key thing is I enjoy it as a subject, and obviously when you're doing horses, you're up against the whole history of art and so many amazing experts doing equine sculpture, equine statuary, so I enjoy the challenge of reinventing a common theme, but at the same time, there is also a danger I become known as the Scottish guy who does the big horses, and you know, I do other things.
His passion for sculpture began during his studies at the Glasgow School of Art. Scott's favorite materials are fiberglass, bronze, and steel.
I like the challenge of taking a very hard and a very difficult and ungiving material and making something that looks alive and supple, or I try to make it look alive and supple and essentially breathe life into such an unforgiving, hard material. And it's, as I say, it's physically very challenging, and it seems to work.
Mastering that material is not Scott's only goal. His sculptures, such as the figure Aria near Glasgow, are often located in places where art is not normally found. For Andy Scott, a motorway setting is preferable to an elitist gallery.
They're making something that is elevating the mundane and it's enhancing the everyday environment. And you know, if people pass it by at 70 miles an hour or 120 kilometres an hour, then, you know, at least they've had something's brightened their journey. But if they see it every day, or if they live nearby, then maybe they start to think about why does it represent this, or why is it pointing in this direction, what does it symbolise, and they start to engage with it in a different way and perhaps make up their own narrative, and hopefully it enhances their lives somehow.
The Kelpies is another work of art by Andy Scott that will delight the senses of passers-by. And it's underscored his reputation for bringing art to the people.